Hey guys, Kamina the coach. Welcome back. For once, I'm not going to apologize for ruffling feathers because this is not something that I feel apologetic about, not at all. So, welcome back if you're returning to the channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Kamina the coach. I've been working and living abroad for over a decade. This is my ninth country and I work as a professional in the education field. Sorry for the leaf blower noises outside. In March of 2020, I moved back to the United States and had to aggressively address some early childhood trauma and adoption trauma. I've been working on self-development and healing trauma aggressively since 2008, so not a professional, but to some degree an expert on the research surrounding trauma. So on this channel you'll find some videos about working and living abroad, some videos on making life better, and some videos on working through trauma. This video is about working and living abroad and privilege. And that's why I'm not going to apologize for the video, because there's a lot of you who need to hear this, and you just need to embrace it. So first of all, a lot of you, especially digital nomads, are gentrifying countries. You're moving to places where the locals make like a tenth of what you're making, and you're driving up the cost of living so high that people that were natives there can't afford to live. So that's number one. And you go there and don't learn the language. You make English-speaking communities, which is a form of colonization, actually. And then number two, so the term expatriate is actually just a form of privilege. So I don't ever pull up meanings because I don't ever do videos like this. But I just want to talk about the different meanings of immigrant, migrant, and expatriate. So the definition of expatriate is a person who lives outside their native country. Or relating to a person living outside their native country. Same thing. Okay? So, living outside of your native country. Expatriate. A migrant. So, are you living outside of your country? It didn't say anything about plans to return. So a lot of, especially educators, move overseas to teach with plans of returning home. So migrant, a person who moves from one place to another, especially in order to find work or better living conditions. Sound familiar? How about those of us who have moved someplace and intend to stay there? Immigrant, a person who comes to live permanently in a foreign country. Any of that sound familiar? Let's just go back to expatriate. Expatriate, a person who lives outside their native country. So if you know anything about me at all, I'm just big on equity and fairness and just doing the right thing in general. And so working and living abroad, no matter where you are, you're going to be surrounded by people who are doing the same thing, who are not from there, who have come to where you are trying to make a better life for themselves. And those people are always called immigrants or migrants. But when an American or a British person moves to another country to make a better life for themselves or for better working or living conditions, we're automatically deemed an expatriate. And it's privilege. And it's not right. The Filipinos, the Indians, Mexicans, all of these people from underdeveloped countries, and there's such a negative connotation to the word immigrant and migrant. But expatriate somehow makes us sound patriotic, like there's something great about us. when in general, ex means not patriot. So this is a really short video. I've talked before about gentrification. It's happening more and more as the countries in the developed world become more and more unlivable. It happens that people are taking a great amount of wealth and moving to poor countries, buying up property and making it unlivable for the locals. And I think it's wrong. We're moving to places and we don't speak the language. We're not making an effort to speak the language or adhere to the local culture, and forcing our American or our British culture on those who surround us. And that to me is colonization. And I don't want to have any part of that. I don't. It is unfortunate to me. I struggle with it often about when I am in an education situation where I'm teaching academic English. However, I know that teaching academic English in certain countries does give them a benefit to move in the world. And like it or not, it does give them more opportunities to study and move up their position in life. I still struggle with it. But you can begin with something as small as verbiage, and it makes a difference. I don't know if you've never noticed on my channel, I never call myself an expat. And if I have, I'm sorry, I won't anymore. I've actually had like white men who live and work abroad with me argue with me about this, which isn't a shock because they're desperately trying to hold on to their position in any way that they can. But I implore you to look at this from a little more holistic perspective. And if you move abroad, I have an ant infestation. If you move abroad, I beg of you to be considerate about these things. And if you're not, what is going to happen is there's not going to be anywhere else to go. If we continue to mindlessly go in and colonize places that don't have as much money and where the people don't have as much opportunity, eventually it is just going to be that everywhere is so expensive and everywhere is so unlivable that there's nowhere else to go. And that's why people are going to Mars or space or whatever. Can we not take care of what we've got and take care of each other? That's all I've got for you today. It's a really short video. I think it's important. I think it should be powerful. If it ruffles your feathers, that's good. Sit with it for a little bit, chew on it. Leave a comment if you feel. Send it to somebody whose feathers it's gonna ruffle. This is a message I feel like needs to get out. Stop colonizing the world. Seriously, stop colonizing the world and quit using terms of privilege to refer to yourself. You're not an expatriate, you're an immigrant or a migrant, and that's just all there is to it. There's nothing patriotic about you. You left. You didn't want to be there because it's not livable anymore. So let's just be real in the way that we show up and present ourselves in the world, and try to be the kind of people that our ancestors are going to be proud to be descendants of, because I don't think that's the case at the moment. So anyways, until next time, my name is Kamina the Coach, sending you a love, light, peace, and joy. Until next time, I am out. Peace.